so scared.
Oh, Mr. Teddy, what did you see? Oh, you saw something dark on the sidewalk? Okay. And it followed you everywhere you went? Okay, and you don't know what it is? Okay, it's okay, Mr. Teddy. Oh my goodness. Hi, my friends. We're going to learn about something today that you might see a lot of this summer when you're outside. In the book we're going to read, I think it's going to help Mr. Teddy understand what it is he saw. Okay, Mr. Teddy? I promise. What you saw is normal, and we're going to read about it right now. Okay? All right, sweetie. Go sit in your listening chair. Good job. Hi, my friends. Happy summer. Let's read a book today called Bear Shadow. This book was written by Frank Ash. He's the author and the illustrator. He created this whole story. And I think this story is going to help Mr. Teddy with what he is afraid of. Let's look through this book together. It's called Bear Shadow. Here we go. It says one day Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole. He put a worm on his hook and he saw a fish in the water and he thought, I'm going to catch that fish. There he is. I see his fishing pole. I see a can of worms. And if you look very carefully in the water, you'll see that shadow of a little fish. Shadow. Do you know what that word means, shadow? Let's keep reading. I think this book will help us understand. When Bear stood up to throw his line in, the shadow scared the big fish away. Go away, Shadow! Cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. Now let's look at this illustration very closely. There's Bear. Do you see this darkness right here that's right in front of Bear? It's similar to the darkness that's in the water from the fish. That darkness is called a shadow. Let's see what we can learn more about shadows. Okay, said Bear. If you won't go away on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you. So he's talking to this dark shape that he sees here on the ground. He ran around the pond, and when he got to the other side, he kept on running. He's trying to get away from that dark shape on the ground. Mr. Teddy, is that sort of what you did?
Yes.
Do you see the bear running right there? That's what you did too, sweetie? Okay, all right. Bear ran through a field of flowers and he jumped over a brook. That's a little bit of water. Good, said Bear. Now my shadow can't find me. And look, he's hiding behind a tree. I see a dark shape on the ground here too, and it looks like it matches the shape of the tree. There's a lot of shadows in this book, aren't there? Poor Bear. When he stepped out of the tree's shadow, the first thing he saw was his shadow on the ground. It's still there. Nearby was a cliff. That's a tall area of rocks. I know, said Bear. I'll climb up there, and then my shadow can't find me. What do you think? Is that going to work? Is his shadow going to go away? It says he climbed all the way to the very top of the cliff. But when he got to the top, guess what he saw? That's right, his shadow, it's still there. A shadow is a dark shape that matches what's in front of it. Bear is very annoyed. That means he's very irritated and upset. So he went home and he got some hammer and nails and he tried to nail his shadow down to the ground. Do you see that? I guess he's thinking that if he does that, his shadow won't move. But he hammered and hammered, but when he moved, his shadow stayed with him. Do you see all those nails still in the ground? But there's Bear, and his shadow is with him. I even see the shadow of the hammer. Do you see the hammer shape in the shadow? It always matches what's in front of it. Well, said Bear, if I can't nail him down, I'll bury him. So he got his shovel and he dug a great big hole. Look at that. Wow, that probably took a lot of work and a lot of time. Then it says he filled up the hole with dirt when he was done. At last, he said, no more shadow. There he is. There's that big mound of dirt that he just filled in. Well, what do you think? Is it going to stop his shadow from showing up? Well, it says Bear was very tired. He's done a lot of running and a lot of digging and hammering. So he went inside and he took a nap. What's going to happen next? I don't know. It says while he was sleeping, time went by and the sun went by. And once again, it cast shadows on the ground. This is a really good picture. Do you see this up close? There's the sun. There's his shovel sticking in the ground. And if you look closely on the ground, you'll see a shadow shape that matches the shape of his shovel. A shadow, my friends, is just a place where the sunlight has been blocked. The sunlight can't reach it. When Bear got up and opened his door, guess what he saw? He saw his shadow. Not you again, he said. He slammed the door, hoping to lock his shadow inside, but his shadow was too quick. Now there's a Mr. Bear, and there's his shadow. So I'm thinking the sun must be over here on this side, and as it's shining, his shape is blocking the sun. That's all shadows are, my friends. It's just the space where the sunshine has been blocked and it can't get there. Well, how about this? He said. If you let me catch a fish, he told his shadow, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head if that's the deal. So Bear nodded his head, and so did his shadow. Wow, look at that. Mr. Bear and his shadow. Is that similar to the shape you saw, Mr. Teddy? Oh, okay. Well, Bear went back to the pond, but by this time the sun was in a different place in the sky, and Shadow was going to keep his part of the deal. Look, Mr. Bear does not see a shadow. If the sun is right over the top of your head, you won't see a shadow. So that tells me it must be about noontime, about lunchtime, when Mr. Bear is fishing right there. Let's see what happens. Oh, the sun kept moving, time went by, and look, Bear did eventually catch a fish, and look, his shadow caught one too. Now, did his shadow really catch a fish, my friends? No, but the sun moved, and when the sun moved over here, his shape and his fish blocked the sun. And that's what created the shadow. All right, Mr. Teddy, that's the end of Bear's shadow. Does that help you understand a little bit what a shadow is? Yes, that's right. It's just where the sunlight has been blocked. Are there shadows at nighttime? Well, that's a really good question, Mr. Teddy. What do you think? Are there shadows at nighttime from moonlight? Is that what you mean? We're going to have to think about that, Mr. Teddy. That's a very good question.